Dragon Ball World, Unknown Universe, Planet Vegeta. On this day, in the Saiyan Palace at the core of the planet, King Vegeta summoned all the intermediate warriors on planet Vegeta. Their purpose, however, was to discuss the disposal of a baby. A Saiyan knelt in front of the throne and asked humbly, "Your Majesty, please forgive my recklessness. I heard, are you going to send my son Broly to the frontier planet?" "That's right." On the high platform, King Vegeta said. "But, Your Majesty, I heard that my son's destination is a planet called Wampa, which is completely deserted and has nothing at all. Your son's potential is very high. I am afraid that it will threaten the safety of our Saiyans in the future. I just distributed him without killing him. You should thank me well, Paragus." "What?" The Saiyan named Paragus stood up, clenching his fists tightly, his anger burning uncontrollably. "Damn King Vegeta! You are jealous of my son's potential and afraid that he will threaten your son's status. You bastard!" King Vegeta sneered, "So what? Your son is about to be sent away while we're talking." "What?" Paragus stood at the window in a panic and looked out. It's just that on the cosmic launch pad outside the window, there is no sign of the spacecraft taking off. At this moment, a figure suddenly pushed open the door and broke in. "Paragus, don't worry, Broly's spaceship has been stopped by me." You are..." Paragus and the others in the palace looked at the person coming, and King Vegeta on the throne stood up and said angrily, "Lynx! How dare you come back?" The person who came was Lin Chen, of course, this was his last name. In this life, his name was Lynx, and he was a wanted young Saiyan warrior. The reason for being wanted is because Lynx left the mission given to him by King Vegeta after his awakening in this life, and disappeared for 4 years. "Lynx! You fled against my orders 4 years ago. You dare to come back now? Did you come from a dead end?" Lin Chen gritted his teeth and said, "I'm here to report to you. Frieza will come to destroy us Saiyans soon. If we don't prepare early, the entire planet Vegeta will perish." Hearing this, the scene suddenly became quiet, and the middle-level soldiers present opened their mouths one by one, even Paragus was shocked. The next moment, there was a burst of laughter at the scene. Everyone took Lin Chen's words as a joke. "Just kidding, they Saiyans are Lord Frieza's right-hand man. Why did Lord Frieza destroy the Saiyans?" Lin Chen snorted coldly. The situation was exactly as he thought. "I am afraid that unless Bardock is here, no one will believe his words." But he came to Dragon Ball World for 4 full years, kept his name incognito in the outside world, and finally returned to planet Vegeta, not to be ridiculed here. "Shut up all of you!" Lin Chen shouted, then pointed at King Vegeta in front of the throne and said, "All Saiyans must obey the king's will." "King Vegeta, even if I can't convince them, then I just convince you to be alone. According to Saiyan tradition, I will challenge your kingship." "What?" King Vegeta's eyes widened, thinking he had heard it wrong. Lin Chen said, "As we all know, the reason why you sit firmly on the throne is because your grandfather Vegeta I brought the Saiyans to conquer the Zephyrs and occupied this planet. But according to our Saiyan tradition, the throne of the king should belong to the strongest. So, I'm going to challenge you now. As long as I win, I'll be the new Saiyan king." As soon as Lin Chen finished speaking, an intermediate warrior jumped out, bold. "Lynx, you are disrespecting King Vegeta. Let's fight with me first. Go away. My goal is only him." Lin Chen pointed at King Vegeta. "Could it be that you dare not accept the challenge?" "Madness!" King Vegeta's forehead was blue and blue. "Lynx, you are a mere low-level warrior, how dare you challenge me?" "Well, very good. I accept your challenge. I want everyone to know that the one who angered King Vegeta would dare to challenge me. Down!" "Ah!" King Vegeta let out a loud shout, his breath exploded, and the whole person flew up from the throne, like a sharp arrow shooting at Lin Chen. But... boom! King Vegeta's fist was blocked by Lin Chen with one finger. Shdam, how is that possible? Vegeta's face changed greatly. He had already used all his strength for this punch, but he couldn't stop Lin Chen's finger. 2M King Vegeta, the king of Saiyans. King Vegeta quickly took a step back, condensed his strength with both hands, and suddenly smashed an energy bomb that concentrated 100% of his energy at Lynx. However, this energy bomb was deflected by Lynx with a flick of his finger, smashed straight through the palace, and flew into the sky. Boom! The violent explosion attracted the Saiyans around the palace to watch. Why? King Vegeta looked at Lin Chen in disbelief. Lin Chen's expression did not fluctuate. I have been fighting for my life for the past 4 years, but how can you, a Saiyan who has been sitting comfortably on the throne, compare with me? But your combat power. King Vegeta has been detecting his eyes with combat power, and the detector on his left eye has always shown that Lin Chen's combat power is only 2000. That kind of thing can't detect instant combat power. Now I can control my breath. My real combat power is 10 times yours. 10 times. Not only King Vegeta, but everyone else on the scene also took a deep breath. If that's true, that's pretty shocking. 100,000 combat power? This is definitely the #1 fighting force among the Saiyans. Lin Chen, who is obviously just a lower-level soldier, why does he have such power? No, impossible. How could you have 100,000 combat power? I don't believe it, I absolutely don't believe it. Just when King Vegeta screamed, Lin Chen suddenly disappeared in place, and the next moment, he appeared behind King Vegeta. With just one punch, King Vegeta fainted. While King Vegeta fell to the ground, Lin Chen stretched out his hand and took off the ring necklace on him that symbolized the throne of the king. Lin Chen raised the necklace high and stepped onto the throne that originally belonged to King Vegeta. Starting today, I am the new Saiyan King. Come to Dragon Ball World for 4 full years. Finally waiting for this moment. Lin Chen knew that at this point, he could finally start the final step of his plan, killing Frieza and preventing the destruction of planet Vegeta. He did this just because he was bound to the strongest selection system when he first arrived in this world. The first and strongest option that the system opens to Lin Chen is as follows: Choice 1, defeat Frieza and prevent the destruction of planet Vegeta. Reward, Legendary Saiyan Blood. Choose 2, defeat the Kaio God. Reward, Kaio God's power. Choose 3, defeat the God of Destruction and prevent the destruction of planet Vegeta. Reward, the power of the God of Destruction. Lin Chen was very happy when he first learned that he had obtained the selection system. The standard golden finger of the Traverser, he really got it too. Just after seeing the 3 choices given by the system, Lin Chen, who was familiar with the plot, turned green. Nima. What are the 3 options? It's just a metamorphosis. Not to mention the great demon King Frieza, Kaioshin, and God of Destruction. Is that something that can be solved by me who doesn't even have 10,000 combat power? Others can get a novice gift package just after they get the system. How can the system that they got come up and give him the task of difficulty? Isn't this shit? Lin Chen wanted to give up the choice at that time, but the system immediately retorted, the mission cannot be given up, one must choose one and complete it before planet Vegeta is destroyed, otherwise the host will be obliterated. Facing the threat of being naked from the system, Lin Chen gritted his teeth and chose the first option without thinking. Frieza, the Kaiju God, the God of Destruction. For Lin Chen, who is still just an ordinary lower-level warrior, there is only Frieza, and he still has a ray of hope of defeating him in theory. Moreover, opportunities are often accompanied by risks. If this task can be successfully accomplished this time, Lin Chen's future will be extremely bright. There are many crises in the Dragon Ball world. Even if you become a Super Saiyan, you may not be able to keep yourself. However, if you can get the blood of the legendary Saiyan and show the strength of the legendary Saiyan in the original book, no matter what crisis Lin Chen encounters in the future, probably get through it safely. So after that, Lin Chen devoted himself to preparing for 4 full years, just to defeat planet Vegeta before Frieza began to destroy it. Relying on the system's prompts, Lin Chen had already accurately understood the time when he crossed over, which was AIG 733, 4 years before the destruction of planet Vegeta. There was not much time left for Lin Chen, and because Kakarot was not yet born at this time, and the Saiyan Prince Vegeta was only 1 year old, Lin Chen also had a hard time finding allies. It's an impossible mission. But after careful analysis of the plot, Lin Chen found a ray of hope for himself to achieve his goal, but to achieve this goal, he must have at least more than 60,000 combat power. And get the support of all Saiyans. So for this goal, Lin Chen escaped while out on a mission and started wandering alone in the universe. In the first year, Lin Chen tried to rely on cultivation to improve his combat effectiveness. The combat power of the body he crossed is only 2000, which is the most popular low-level warrior level among the Saiyans. Although his physical age is only 14 years old, there is still the possibility of improvement, but there is not much hope. In the past year, Lin Chen has gone through untold hardships and has only increased his combat power to 10,000, which is still 108,000 miles away from his goal of at least 60,000 combat power. So in the second year, Lin Chen changed his mind. He must admit that his body does not have the same talent as Kakarot and Vegeta, and it is very difficult to increase the combat power to 60,000 in the remaining 3 years. So in the second year, Lin Chen spent a whole year inquiring about the whereabouts of Namek in the universe. Under the current circumstances, the only way Lin Chen could think of to quickly increase his strength in a short period of time was to go to Namek. It's not that he has to rely on Dragon Ball's wish to improve his ability, because that's simply impossible, even Shenlong has its ability limitations. And with Lin Chen's strength at that time, it was impossible to defeat Namek, which was protected by Nielu. So his real purpose is to reach a condition with the Great Elders so that the Great Elder can enhance his potential. The Great Elder of Namek has the special ability to develop the potential of the human body. In the original work, after his guidance, Krillin and Gohan, who had only 1 or 2,000 fighting strengths, had their strength increased tenfold. If Lin Chen can also get the help of the Great Elder, then his purpose can be easily achieved. So, after finding Namek, Lin Chen immediately went to that planet, and then spent another year on Namek. As a sinister Saiyan in the universe, Lin Chen's journey to meet the Great Elder was not all smooth sailing. At first, when the Nameks saw that he was a Saiyan, they thought he was here to attack the planet, and they attacked without any explanation. Even after Lin Chen's apparent intention, the Namekians still didn't fully believe his words. They proposed that in order to meet the elders, they must accept their challenge. So it took Lin Chen another year to pass the Namekian people's multiple tests of wisdom, courage, and combat effectiveness. Finally, he met the Great Elder and reached a special agreement with him. As the agreed condition, Lin Chen's fighting potential was completely guided by the Elder, and he finally had the current combat power of over 110,000. In 4 years, from a low-level warrior to a Saiyan with 110,000 combat power, the hardships can be imagined, but these 4 years of hard work are all worth it. Sitting on the throne, Lin Chen recalled the past 4 years, raised his head, and said to the people in front of him who were still in shock, "Everyone, I know that some of you may still be dissatisfied with me. Tradition, I just got the throne, I have a week to rest, if you want to challenge me, you have to wait a week. After a week, if I lose the battle, you can depose me and kill me, but before that, I will never allow anyone to act arbitrarily. My next order may be strange, but you must obey. First of all, today's affairs are limited to us Saiyans. We must not tell Frieza that the Saiyans have changed the king. Secondly, the middle-level warriors here, I need you to act immediately and kill all Frisia's subordinates on planet Vegeta, leaving only the person in charge of communication to pass on all the good news to the Frisia Legion. Intelligence. We must not reveal the slightest rumor about our actions in the next few days. Lynx. Under the throne, King Vegeta was already awake. He lay on the ground and looked at Lin Chen in shock. What are you going to do? Lin Chen glanced at King Vegeta and said, What? I'm going to lead all the Saiyans and betray Frisia. Hearing this, the Saiyans below were stunned. Mutiny Frisia? Betray the Cosmic Emperor who ran rampant in the universe? Is Lin Chen crazy? Although I am full of doubts about Lin Chen's words. However, the king's life is hard to violate. On this day, Lin Chen's Saiyan secret mutiny plan began. When Lin Chen's Saiyan mutiny plan began, on the surface, nothing changed. The elite Saiyan troops led by mid-level warriors quickly suppressed the Frisia Legion's liaison office on planet Vegeta, forcing the liaison sergeant to send false news to Frisia Legion. Sir, everything is business as usual on planet Vegeta, nothing has changed. On the other hand, Lin Chen personally led a group of Saiyan warriors to quickly suppress and obliterate several senior warriors of the Frisia Legion who were responsible for monitoring King Vegeta on the planet. After encrypting the communicator, Lin Chen immediately invited all the captains of the Saiyan team to assemble and explained his plan to them. As we all know, Frisia, as the Emperor of the universe, his strength, at least so far, far exceeds everyone on planet Vegeta. Just in his first form, he has more than 530,000 combat power. Not to mention he has 3 more forms. Can't beat it. Even the proud King Vegeta didn't think that the Saiyans had the possibility of defeating Frisia. Lin Chen thought the same. However, under the impossible, Lin Chen saw a glimmer of hope for them to kill Frisia. That is because of the immaturity of power control. Frisia has always maintained himself in the first form in order to control his power. And the combat power of this form can just be killed by Lin Chen. Because as long as Lin Chen transforms into a giant ape, he can have a combat power of more than 1 million in a short period of time. 1 million combat power is enough for him to kill Frisia with only 530,000 combat power. Don't think it's impossible. After all, in the original book, in order to have the power to defeat Frisia, Vegeta, who already has a combat power of at least 100,000, has weakened his aura. Lin almost killed him. Therefore, as long as Lin Chen moves quickly and is unprepared, and starts before Frisia transforms, Lin Chen can really turn the impossible into a possibility and kill Frisia with a mere 100,000 combat power. Incredible idea. But if you think about it, it's actually possible. Lin Chen then asked all Saiyans to assemble in the capital to prepare for the arrival of the tyrant. Although they couldn't hurt Frisia, they could help Lin Chen attract Frisia's attention. After all, Frisia is not alone. He also has a strong Frisia army under him. If Lin Chen is alone, Frisia may transform in advance before he gets close. Not everyone disagrees with Frisia's plan. Since surrendering to Frisia and his father, the great Kurdish king, the Saiyans have lived a humiliating life, but in general, they are quite peaceful. And becoming Frisia's subordinate, conquering planets for him, is just in line with the bloodthirsty fighting character of Saiyans. So for them, they have no reason to betray Frisia. In this regard, Lin Chen only used one sentence to persuade the former King Vegeta, and then used his prestige to persuade others. King Vegeta, you should know why Frisia wants to destroy planet Vegeta? Did you anger Beerus, the of destruction, a few years ago? Beerusama. At this moment, King Vegeta finally completely believed Lin Chen's words. Just when Prince Vegeta was 3 years old, King Vegeta once annoyed Beerus, the of destruction. And Frisia, under Beerus's instructions, plans to destroy planet Vegeta. King Vegeta knew that if what Lin Chen said was true, it would be impossible for Frisia to let planet Vegeta go, so he put down his resentment and chose to surrender to Lin Chen and cooperate with him to ensure that Lin Chen's plan was foolproof. Under his persuasion, many Saiyans, although reluctant, finally obeyed the order. In addition, on the side of the lower-level warriors, Lin Chen also found his allies. That is Sun Wukong's father, Badak. The elite warrior Bardock, who is now highly regarded among the lower-level warriors, was hit by the magic fist of the Kanasa people when his team invaded the planet of Kanasa, so he had the ability to predict the future. On the entire Saiyan planet, he was the most steadfast on Lin Chen's side. Because in his dream, Bardock had seen Frisia destroy planet Vegeta with his own eyes. There is King Vegeta on the mid-level fighters, and Bardock on the lower-level fighters. They became Lin Chen's right-hand man, perfecting the final plan for him. That's it. A few days later. On the night that Bardock predicted, all the Saiyans gathered on the capital of planet Vegeta, raised their heads together and looked up at the sky. Bardock, is the time almost up? Lin Chen looked at the sky and asked in a low voice. Beside him, Bardock said softly, Yes, Your Majesty, Frisia is coming soon. Our destiny. The destiny of all Saiyans is here. King Vegeta said nervously on the side. We will win. Lin Chen comforted him. Rumble. At this moment, there was a sudden loud noise in the sky. The next moment, the detectors on all the Saiyans on the scene read many huge energy readings. Many people were stunned. Sure enough, as their King Lynx said. Frisia really brought his army and came uninvited. Lin Chen took a deep breath, his face dignified. Next, he will create a miracle. If his plan can be successful, it will probably be an unprecedented battle between the weak and the strong that far surpasses the original. If I can complete the task and get the blood of the legendary Saiyan, I will do it again. Former King Vegeta, Paragus. Your two-man squad can begin. King Vegeta and Paragus nodded. In this battle, the two of them each led a squad of elite soldiers, but they were not responsible for participating in the attack. Their task is to create an artificial moon on the ground. Once the moon is destroyed, they need to put another one, always keeping the artificial moon hanging in the sky. Although there is no danger, every time an artificial moon is created, it will consume a lot of chi in them. Only high-level warriors like them can have the spare energy to continue to manufacture. Don't worry, King Lynx. For the Saiyans. The next moment, a group of dazzling white light formed in their hands. Several warriors threw the white light in their hands into the sky, and not long after, rounds of light like the bright moon hung in the sky, emitting a dim brilliance like the moon on the earth. These light are the artificial moons created by King Vegeta and the others. With the birth of these moons, all Saiyans on planet Vegeta sounded the horn to attack Frisia. When the sky of planet Vegeta was covered with an artificial moon, a doublings wave shoots to the surface. The Bull's wave is a special energy generated during the full moon. Saiyans' eyes can absorb this special wavelength that can only be borne by the full moon, and change with their tails to complete the transformation called giant ape. Right now, after the 3 moons in the sky were reflected in the eyes of the Saiyans on the ground, the bodies of these Saiyans began to swell, and the protective clothing on their bodies slowly expanded. The wild, violent, and powerful breath is constantly exuding from these Saiyans. Their tails began to grow longer, their heads protruded significantly, both male and female, and their teeth became sharp like beasts. It didn't take long for the earth to be occupied by terrifying giant apes more than 20 meters high. Saiyan. Charge! The giant ape that Bardock turned into beat his chest and roared, and flew towards the sky suddenly. Behind him, countless giant apes also flew up, killing the Frisia spaceship that had entered the stratosphere. Usually, turning into a giant ape will make a Saiyan lose his mind, but this loss of control is not completely uncontrollable. A trained Saiyan can at least retain a shred of sanity in his heart to complete the task. And this time, in the hearts of all Saiyans, there is only one goal, and that is to destroy the Frisia Legion in the sky. When such a large group of guerrillas took off from the planet, the Frisia Legion in the universe naturally found their trail. Fu, Frieza-sama! Those Saiyans have turned into giant apes. What? These lowly Saiyans, what do they want to do? Beside Frisia, a chubby pink alien said in panic. Calm down, Dodoria. It's just some wild monkeys, there's no need to be afraid. Let the legionnaires on the spaceship attack, said a handsome alien. Yes, yes, I understand, Mr. Sabo. Dodoria nodded and immediately gave an order, hurry up, let the legionnaires on the spaceship attack and stop these wild monkeys for me. When Dodoria hurriedly issued an order, Sabo said to the Emperor Frisia, who was sitting in the small disc behind him, My lord, it seems that those Saiyans are well prepared, I am afraid your plan has been leaked. Oh ho ho! It's just some stinky monkeys. If they think they can deal with me like this, then they are too naive. Frisia laughed disdainfully. Although the Saiyan turns into a giant ape, the combat power will increase by 10 times. But even so, these Saiyans are far from his opponents with 530,000 combat power. Frisia watched the situation with a smile, without any worries. However, the face of the proud cosmic emperor was quickly swollen by those gorillas. Phew, Lord Frisia! Our main force fought against the Saiyans. In the first wave of attacks, our soldiers lost 94%. Boom! A finger cannon suddenly slammed into the head of the soldier who reported the battle, directly blowing his head into pieces. Frisia gritted his teeth and resisted his anger. Cut! A bunch of useless trash. Lord Frisia, after a Saiyan becomes a giant ape, the combat power can be increased by 10 times. There are at least hundreds of Saiyans outside. Even the Jinyu special forces will be able to use this power. Sabo reminded in a low voice. I get it. These monkeys are like this, I'll let them all go to hell. Frisia's smile slowly disappeared, he floated up, and flew directly from the top of the spaceship. A group of wild monkeys, stay on the planet Vegeta. Honestly, isn't it good to turn into a star together with the planet? It has to become the dust of the universe. The corners of Frisia's mouth twitched into a grim arc, and her body slowly floated out of the spaceship, suspended in the universe. Right in front of him, an astonishing number of gorilla legions were about to kill him. Frisia raised one of her fingers, and was about to start condensing energy when suddenly, Frieza! A loud shout resounded behind Frisia. He turned his head and saw an untransformed Saiyan standing on top of the spaceship. And this Saiyan is Lin Chen. When all the Saiyans turned into gorillas, Lin Chen used their cover to sneak into the Frisia spaceship. On Namek, what Lin Chen got was not just a simple increase in combat power. The Namekian control of Qi is equally complete with him. So when the Frisia Legion's attention was drawn to those gorillas with amazing energy, no one noticed that Lin Chen, who had deliberately held his breath, unknowingly came to the vicinity of the spaceship. And Lin Chen's actions were for this moment. Just as Frisia was stunned, Lin Chen shifted his gaze to the artificial moons on planet Vegeta. The next moment, his body inflated as rapidly as a balloon, and the energy in his body no longer completely exploded uncontrollably. Diddy! 100,000, 110,000, 120,000. Frisia's combat probe index keeps climbing. Just as the probe read 180,000, his probe exploded. Dead, dead monkey! At this moment, Frisia felt a huge sense of threat for the first time. Saiyan Giant Ape can increase the combat power by 10 times, and the Saiyan in front of him showed about 100,000 strength before he transformed, and multiplied by 10 times, wouldn't it be stronger than his current form? Frisia jumped out of the disc in a panic, then shattered his battle suit, and was about to start transforming. But at this moment, Lin Chen, who had turned into a gorilla, opened his mouth and roared at Frisia. Roar! A giant shock wave spewed out of Lin Chen's mouth and shot straight towards Frisia. The huge shock wave directly engulfed the Emperor of the Universe, who had not had time to transform. The proud Emperor only had time to shout, "How dare you!" transformed into a phantom and disappeared into the universe. The shock wave that engulfed Frisia did not disappear, but accompanied Lin Chen to turn his head and swept his head towards Frisia's spaceship. King Frisia! The people on board let out desperate screams, and finally turned to dust with their spaceship. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the first option. Reward, Legendary Super Saiyan Bloodline. Will the bloodlines merge immediately? The long-lost system sound resounded in Lin Chen's mind. At this moment, he suddenly felt a sense of relief. Finally, it took him 4 full years to finally accomplish this seemingly impossible task. When his combat power was only 100,000, he defeated the Emperor of the Universe, Frisia. Host, do you immediately integrate the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline? From the giant ape back to the human form, the sound of the system sounded again in Lin Chen's mind. System, will there be any side effects from the fusion of bloodline? Lin Chen asked. The legendary Super Saiyan bloodline has a physique that is stronger when it is stronger. The more injured, the stronger the power will become. In order to obtain this power, the host body needs to be transformed. How long will it take to remodel? 5 years. What? It took 5 years? Hearing this, Lin Chen didn't answer immediately, but looked behind him. After the battle was over, the Saiyans gradually changed back to their human forms. Looking at the location where Frisia's spaceship used to be, the Saiyans were very excited. We killed that tyrant. The Saiyans are invincible. Long live King Lynx! Although at the beginning, there were still many people who were skeptical about attacking Frisia. But when Frisia was really eliminated, the arrogance in the Saiyans' bones suddenly burst out. Looking at these happy ecstatic Saiyans, Lin Chen knew that it was not the time to be happy. Although Frisia was temporarily eliminated, preventing the demise of planet Vegeta, but is Frisia really dead? Lin Chen, who is familiar with the plot, is naturally aware of the terrifying vitality of the Frozen Demon clan. Although not like the Namekians with regeneration ability, even if the Frozen Demon is shattered, it is still possible to resurrect. Even if Frisia really dies, don't forget that besides Frisia, he also has a father, the King of Kurds, and an unknown elder brother Gula. Sa's vengeance attacked them. To this end, he must find a way to make arrangements, otherwise, it is very likely that when he wakes up after 5 years, planet Vegeta has been destroyed. So, system, don't fuse blood for the time being, wait for my order. Clear. While agreeing, the system issued a new prompt, ding. Sensing the host's sense of crisis, triggering the strongest choice. Choice 1, abandon planet Vegeta and become a wandering Saiyan. Reward, title, the Lonely Saiyan King. Effect, combat strength plus 1 million. Choice 2, hunt down the Frozen Demon clan for a limited time. Reward, get a Frozen Demon clan servant. Choose 3, protect planet Vegeta, build a Saiyan empire. Reward, Jabit teleportation ability. The system is a friendly reminder that the selection reward will be issued in advance, but if the host does not respect the outfit and chooses the action, it will be obliterated. Unexpectedly, just after the last choice was completed, a new choice came. Looking at the 3 rewards given by the system, Lin Chen began to think. He directly removed the first option, with a mere 1 million combat power. I believe that as long as he integrates the blood of the legendary Super Saiyan, he can naturally get it easily. The second option looks good, but it means that you can make a member of the Frozen Demon clan like Frisia as your little brother. However, after thinking about this choice, Lin Chen decided to remove it. Because this choice actually implies a trap. How long is the time limit to hunt down the Frozen Demon clan? If it was 5 years, didn't he just wake up from a deep sleep and the time was up? But if in order to achieve the task, he did not integrate the super bloodline, how could he go after the Frozen Demon clan? Therefore, Lin Chen could only look at this choice. System, choose 3. Ding! Congratulations on the successful selection of the host, the reward has been delivered. Next, please protect planet Vegeta. Once planet Vegeta is destroyed, the host will be wiped out immediately. After Lin Chen made his choice, a few seconds later, the system prompt sounded. At the same time, Lin Chen's mind immediately gained a knowledge of how to perform teleportation. Jabit's teleportation ability is slightly different from Sun Wukong's teleportation. Jabit's teleportation can directly reach any planet in the lower realm of the universe, and he doesn't need to look for air, but he can't accurately find a person. In other words, Lin Chen can now move around the universe at will, instead of wasting precious time on spaceflight like in the past. Including the Namek planet he had been to, it only takes a moment to reach it. Next, it's time to prepare for the fusion of the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline. For 5 years, he must prepare an insurance for planet Vegeta to ensure that the group of Saiyans will not go to the fate of extinction again before he wakes up. Soon after, planet Vegeta, inside the king's palace. Outside the palace, the Saiyans who have defeated the Emperor of the universe are reveling, and all kinds of Saiyans' favorite meat and wine are available in unlimited quantities. In the palace, as the biggest contributor to the victory of this battle, Lin Chen was summoning 3 Saiyans alone. These 3 Saiyans are King Vegeta, Bardock and Paragus. Lin Chen is going to retreat for 5 years. During these 5 years, in order to ensure that planet Vegeta is not lost, he already has an idea, but this idea alone is not enough. It must be said that Saiyans are actually quite a race. Obviously in the universe, their average strength is not strong. Many cosmic races are naturally much stronger than demi-humans, but only these Saiyans claim to be fighting races. God loves to cause trouble. In 5 years, Lin Chen can ensure that the enemy will not come to the door, but it is difficult to guarantee that the Saiyans will not mess up, so he needs someone to be able to take charge of the overall situation during these 5 years. The former King Vegeta and the elite warrior Bardock were the most suitable candidates for Lin Chen. King Vegeta is popular, and Bardock has the cool judgment that the Saiyans lack, and a little humanity, as well as the prefabricated ability he got from the Kanashas. With the 2 of them around, there is a high probability that the Saiyans' eager ambitions can be suppressed, so that they will not cause trouble. As for Paragus, this guy himself has no ability, but his son Broly is a time bomb hidden in planet Vegeta. Broly, who is only 1 year old, already has 10,000 combat power. In 5 years, this kid will grow into an extremely powerful Saiyan, but at the same time, he is also full of danger. A little carelessness may even destroy Vegeta planet. Therefore, Lin Chen's plan was to arrange for Broly to go to another place, so that he could grow up peacefully there. According to the plot in Lin Chen's memory, as long as he is not provoked, Broly under normal conditions is actually a child who likes to communicate with people, is filial, and values friendship, and his personality is very similar to that of Son Gohan. He is not suitable to live with the tyrannical Saiyans, but is more compatible with certain peaceful races. After arranging Paragus the seat of the Saiyan core staff and making him the 3rd person after King Vegeta and Bardock after he left, Lin Chen was successfully dealt with by Broly. That power. As for Lin Chen's intentions, Paragus had no doubts about him. After all, if it wasn't for Lin Chen, their father and son would have been exiled by King Vegeta at this moment. Saiyan Nursery. After all Saiyans are born, they will be put into the nursery for unified care, and then sent to different planets to perform tasks according to their aptitudes. However, after Lin Chen became king, all this will be changed. According to Lin Chen's will, the newly born Saiyans in the future will not be sent to other planets on their own initiative, but will stay on the planet to grow up. In the 5 years that Lin Chen was away, planet Vegeta needed to concentrate the strength of all Saiyans to protect themselves. He would not allow the Saiyans, who were already sparsely populated and whose average combat effectiveness was not high, to commit the taboo of a military family that scattered their troops. However, there was only one baby, which Lin Chen needed to pay special attention to. This baby is the child of Paragus, Broly. Standing in front of Broly's cultivation tank, Lin Chen raised his eyebrows. Even without a detector, he could feel that the child in the cultivation tank in front of him already possessed a strength no weaker than that of Bardock next to him. Sure enough, is this the power of the legendary Saiyan bloodline? Although he will soon have the blood of the legendary Saiyan, but with Broly's strength, he may threaten him in the future. Ding! It is detected that the host has killing intent towards Broly, and the strongest option is opened. Choose one, kill Broly immediately to eliminate future troubles. Reward, a copy of the legendary Super Saiyan Serum. Combat power plus 1 million. Choice 2, exile Broly to Wampa. Reward, 5 copies of Super Saiyan Serum. Combat power plus 500,000. Choice 3, take care of Broly by yourself or let someone take care of Broly. Reward, Broly's loyalty to the host, combat power plus 100,000. Broly may still lose his mind in the future, okay? Lin Chen couldn't help but stay for a while, but he didn't expect another choice at this time. But looking at the 3 choices this time, Lin Chen thought secretly. Whether it is killing Broly or exiling him, it seems to be a good choice. Those serums should be special items that can give people the ability to transform into a Super Saiyan. On the contrary, the third option, just in exchange for Broly's future loyalty, seems a bit tasteless. System, I choose 3. Ding, the host has successfully chosen, and the reward has been redeemed. Please honor the choice as soon as possible. The next moment, Lin Chen felt that his strength had increased a little. Although Lin Chen was a Saiyan in this life, he did not intend to live as indifferently and ruthlessly as a Saiyan. Even, he intends to completely correct the current atmosphere of killing and bullying among the Saiyans. Therefore, whether it was the first or second option, Lin Chen never considered it from the beginning. As for the third option, this was Lin Chen's original plan, so of course he chose the third option. Thinking of this, Lin Chen directly opened Broly's culture tank and released him from the culture solution. It may be that system rewards play a role. The released Broly, after seeing Lin Chen in front of him, was not as violent as an ordinary Saiyan child, but looked at Lin Chen obediently without saying a word. Seeing his son's appearance, Pelagas beside him felt a little reluctant. After all, this is his own son, so he will be separated from him immediately, and the most important thing is that his son is only 1 year old, and he already has 10,000 combat power points. If he can stay by his side, he will be apart from Lin Chen. In addition, there is no one who has no scruples. Thinking of this, Pelagas said, Your Majesty Lynx, King Vegeta is cunning and selfish, I'm afraid that after you leave, he may raise the flag of rebellion again. Otherwise, you can keep Broly by my side, too. As me and Bardock's helper. Lin Chen glanced coldly at Pelagas, who immediately lowered his head under pressure. Bardock's expression also changed suddenly. For some unknown reason, he felt that the pressure Lin Chen put on him was much stronger than before. You don't have to worry about King Vegeta, he knows the importance of things. Planet Vegeta is far from out of crisis, and he won't mess around. Lin Chen knew in his heart that although Frieza was resolved, it was Beerus, the of destruction, who ordered the destruction of Planet Vegeta. Once Beerus wakes up from his slumber, Planet Vegeta cannot escape the fate of destruction. If King Vegeta didn't want to become a Saiyan sinner, he could only obey Lin Chen's arrangement honestly. Okay, I'll take Broly away, you remember to help King Vegeta well, or later, Planet Vegeta will mutate, you don't have to worry, just spend 5 years according to my arrangement, that's it. Yes. Pelagas and Bardock bowed. Lin Chen was about to perform teleportation when a baby cry suddenly sounded beside him. He glanced at it, but it suddenly sounded. Almost forgot about him. The crying baby is Bardock's son, Kakarot, the protagonist of Dragon Ball World. Or should I call him, Sun Wukong? It's just that Sun Wukong at this time is just a baby about the size of Broly. Seeing that Lin Chen's eyes fell on Sun Wukong, Bardock immediately said, "I'm sorry, Your Majesty, that's my child Cockoroat. Bardock, after I leave, remember to send Cockoroat to a planet called Earth." Lin Chen said. "Earth? If your foresight is still useful, you should know what I mean." "Yes." Bardock nodded. Before they defeated Frisia, Bardock had a very strange dream. In a dream, he sees the great adventure of his child Cockoroat on a strange planet. Lin Chen smiled, and everything was arranged in this way. The next moment, he grabbed Broly and performed teleportation. When they saw Lin Chen and Broly suddenly disappear in front of them, both Paragus and Bardock were shocked. Paragus said with a look of astonishment, "It disappeared? Your Majesty Lynx, it's terrifying. By the way, Bardock, what Earth did His Majesty ask you to send your son to just now? What does that mean? There may be a future for our Saiyans," Bardock said with a sullen face. Soon after, in the universe, a mysterious force suddenly enveloped planet Vegeta. At that time, although the Saiyans on the planet had been warned by the palace in advance, they were still shocked by this force that changed the color of the world. After the power dissipated, the Saiyans on the planet discovered that their planet Vegeta had left the original galaxy position and came to a strange new galaxy. Seeing this miraculous change, the Saiyans on the planet also began to follow Lin Chen's orders and began a 5-year dormancy period. Shortly after planet Vegeta disappeared from its original location, a spaceship came to the orbit of planet Vegeta. On the spaceship, several spacemen in battle suits looked at the empty star field in front of them in surprise. "Unbelievable, planet Vegeta really disappeared. Is it destroyed? I don't know. If it was destroyed, you should be able to see planet fragments. No matter what happened to the Saiyans, don't forget our purpose." "I know, wait. The detector is responding. Oh my god! Is it really the life signal of Lord Frisia? He's still alive." Time flies, 5 years flies by. On the alien planet named Namek, a shocking water column suddenly surged out from the sea of the planet. An incomparably huge underwater beast was pushed from the bottom of the sea to a high altitude by the water column, and suddenly fell after flying 1,000 meters above the sea level. At this moment, a young man with black hair, long tail and immature appearance emerged from the bottom of the sea and slammed into the giant beast, instantly killing the dying giant beast. The boy then lifted the giant beast and flew towards the shore. There, Nilu, the strongest among the Namekians, was holding his chest with his arms and looking straight at the flying boy. "Uncle Nilu, I've already won. You don't have to worry about me going crazy, right?" The boy laughed while holding the beast. "Broly, I've seen it. You can now freely control your anger, which is good," Niru said blankly. Although his tone was cold, his words for the other party were full of concern. After all, as Broly's guardian, Niru and Broly have been living together for 5 years. Watching Broly throw the corpse of the giant beast ashore, and then start his own barbecue, Niru couldn't help thinking of 5 years ago. 5 years ago, the Saiyan named Lynx, who had lived on Namek for a while, brought Broly, who was only 1 year old, to the Great Elder. This Saiyan not only wanted to give Broly to the Nameks to raise, but also asked for the use of Dragon Balls. What made Nilu never understand was that the Great Elder agreed to all the requests of the other party. Afterwards, the puzzled Neilu once asked the Great Elder's intention, but the Great Elder's answer made Neilu a little confused. The Elder actually thought that these 2 Saiyans might become the saviors of the Nameks in the future? Savior? Niru snorted coldly. He didn't know that Lynx, but this Broly, almost became the murderer who destroyed the Nameks. Nilu never thought that there would be such a natural powerhouse in this world as Broly. Obviously still just a child, but Broly's strength is increasing day by day. Fortunately, although his strength increases every day, Broly is an obedient good boy who rarely causes trouble. It's just that sometimes, when in danger, Broly suddenly loses control. Every time he loses control of his emotions, the Saiyan who is still a child turns into a crazy demon. In the first year of Broly's arrival, Nero was able to suppress Broly. But in the second year, Broly, who had gone mad, already possessed a power that far surpassed Nielu. Fortunately, when the lynx came to Namek, he seemed to have a premonition that Broly might have a problem of emotional out of control. When he summoned the Namek dragon, he used a wish to conjure up an ocarina of tranquility that could appease anyone who is mad and calm the mind, and gave it to the great elder. Relying on this flute, Namek escaped the fate of being destroyed by Broly several times. Just as Nero recalled the past, Broly had already eaten all the beast just now. He patted his bulging belly with a look of contentment. "Uncle Nielu, I'm full. I left a piece of meat for you, do you really need to eat it? I said before that the Nameks only needed sunlight and water." "Okay. Then I'll eat it myself." Nero looked at Broly's feasting, and the corners of his mouth curled slightly involuntarily. Although a demon, Broly is generally a good boy, and his personality is actually very popular with the Nameks like them, as long as he is not mad. Speaking of Broly, 5 years seem to be coming soon. Nero said suddenly. Hearing this, Broly put down the piece of meat in his hand. "Really? Uncle Nielu, is Brother Lynx coming out?" "It's very possible, do you want to go take a look?" "Okay." Broly immediately ate the last bit of meat, and then flew, without waiting for Nero, he hurried to somewhere in the depths of the ocean. Nero didn't stop him either, but flew over together. Namek is an island planet. Most of the surface of the planet is covered with green oceans, and in the depths of the largest ocean area, a light sphere has appeared here since 5 years ago. For the past 5 years, this ball of light has been like a miniature sun, illuminating the surrounding waters brightly. If there are people who can perceive chi around, they will find that from the inside of the ball of light, there is a faint and powerful aura spreading out. After flying for a long time, Broly and Nero finally came to the sea where the light ball was. Across the sea, Broly was immediately different from the past. "Really? Uncle Nielu, Brother Lynx chi is stronger than before. It's almost as if he is about to wake up." A drop of sweat oozes from Nilu's forehead. Without Broly reminding him, he had already noticed the changes underneath. That Saiyan's breath was indeed bigger and more terrifying than before. Damn it! In the past 5 years, what has that Saiyan been doing underneath? Just when Broly and Nero were suspended on the sea, in the ball of light under the sea, Lin Chen's consciousness is gradually awakening. 5 years ago, after Lin Chen arranged everything, he began to fuse the legendary Saiyan blood in the deep sea of Namek. In the past 5 years, his consciousness has been completely stripped of his body, and his body has been shattered into shreds in the ball of light, and then reorganized and reborn. Finally, 5 years have passed, and Lin Chen's body has finally been remodeled. The next moment, a huge force pulled Lin Chen's consciousness back into his body. In the ball of light, a green light flashed, and Lin Chen, who had been sleeping for 5 years, finally opened his eyes. Ding! The host has successfully merged the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline. After Lin Chen opened his eyes, the first thing he heard was the mechanical synthesis sound of the system. He clenched his fists, a little happy. It finally worked. I really didn't expect that it took 5 years to integrate the blood of a legendary Super Saiyan. I really don't know if this system is not powerful, or is it too difficult to integrate the blood of the legendary Super Saiyan. At this moment, the system actually made a sound again. Remind the host that the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline of the host is the perfect bloodline. Although it took 5 years, it also eliminated the aftermath of the legendary Super Saiyan's uncontrollable power, and the host cannot worry about losing his mind in the future. After Lin Chen heard this, he was instantly overjoyed. Legend has it that the biggest disadvantage of Super Saiyan is that after the power is fully turned on, he will become insane because he cannot control the power, and become a killing machine that only knows how to fight and kill. Lin Chen's original plan was to find a solution after merging his bloodlines, but he didn't expect the system to help him get it done in one go. It's not a blessing for Sai Wang to lose his horse. Looking at it this way, it is worthwhile to spend 5 years to integrate blood. System, can I see my combat power? Lin Chen asked. Of course, detecting combat power is also one of the functions of this system. The system replied, and then several lines of text appeared in Lin Chen's heart. Host, Lin Chen. Combat Strength, 550,000 Bloodline, Legendary Super Saiyan Bloodline Skills, Teleportation, Control of Gas. In 5 years, the combat power has increased from 100,000 to 550,000. This speed is not fast, but after all, this is just the beginning. With the awakening of Lin Chen, it is said that the Super Saiyan bloodline will also really play a role. By the way, can I become a Super Saiyan now? The host's souls are not enough for the time being. It is speculated that after the combat power reaches at least 1 million, the souls are enough to truly transform. At present, they can only enter the state of Mimic Super Saiyan. The system replied. Mimic Super Saiyan? Isn't that the setting of the oldest theatrical version? Lin Chen suddenly thought. The host is fused with the legendary Saiyan bloodline of the Super Fighting version, which is slightly different from Dragon Ball Super. Lin Chen was a little fortunate when he heard the words, because the legendary Saiyan bloodline in the Super Fight version was stronger, but it was easier for him to lose control of his power. Now with the help of the system, at least he doesn't have to worry about one day when he suddenly loses control and puts his side around him. All teammates were killed. After checking his status, Lin Chen raised his head. He has felt 2 chi above his head since before, and he is very familiar with these 2 chi. It should be Broly and the name Qian Nilu. System, check their combat effectiveness. Lin Chen ordered. The next moment, he saw the combat strength value of the 2 displayed by the system. This function is even easier to use than the combat power detector of Frisia Legion, and there is no need to worry about the problem of detector failure due to too high combat power. Niru, 42,000. Broly, 230,000. Lin Chen was slightly startled. Before he fell asleep, Broly's combat power was only 10,000, but now he has 230,000. Almost 23 times faster. Sure enough, he is also a guy with the blood of the legendary Saiyan. It is truly extraordinary. Meanwhile, on the sea, both Broly and Niru have noticed that the ball of light below is gradually disappearing. At first, the 2 thought that Lin Chen was about to come out, but as time passed, there was still no movement under the sea. Uncle Nilu, isn't it the brother Link's accident? Broly said anxiously. Calm down, the breath has not disappeared, he may have just woken up. Just before Nei Lu's voice fell, a figure suddenly appeared in front of the 2 of them. Yo! Broly! Niru! Seeing that Lin Chen was really awake, Broly immediately laughed and rushed over, Brother Lynx. The 2 were hugging each other, and Lin Chen looked at Broly with a cheerful expression. It was really difficult to associate the other with the gloomy and introverted Broly in the original book. Letting him grow up on Namek was indeed the right choice. Lynx, what have you done in the past 5 years? Why has your chi changed so much? Even though Lin Chen was an old acquaintance, Neilu was still wary of him. Lin Chen smiled and was about to explain. Suddenly his expression changed and he raised his head. Broly and Niru did the same thing. All 3 felt that from the universe, there were many huge and evil chi approaching Namek. Boom! After a while, a roar suddenly came from the sky. The 3 immediately saw a huge spaceship falling from the atmosphere. Is it the ship of the Frisia Legion? Lin Chen raised his eyebrows. The spaceship in front of him was the same model as Frisia's spaceship that he destroyed. Could it be Frisia or some other frozen demon clan here? No, the aura in that spaceship is much smaller than Frisia. It should be a small team, right? He has already used the system to investigate, and among this group of people, the one with the highest combat power is only 170,000. Taking Frisia as an example, even in its initial form, Frisia's combat power is as high as 530,000. So the people on the spaceship should obviously be a senior cadre, not a member of the Frozen Demon clan. The reptiles on Namek, this is the spaceship of the space pirate Lord Pagan. Immediately let the person in charge on your planet come out to meet us. Otherwise, we will destroy the planet. We only give you 10 minutes. Just after the spaceship penetrated into the atmosphere, a huge sound rang out from the spaceship, spreading throughout the planet. Damn intruder! As soon as Nira gritted his teeth, he wanted to rush out to teach them a lesson. But Broly held him back. Uncle Nilu. There is a person on that ship who has a stronger breath than you. Let me go. The two were arguing, and Lin Chen said with a smile, Okay Broly, I've slept for 5 years, and I just want to exercise. Don't fight me. After all, Lin Chen had already flown high into the sky, heading towards the spaceship. The muscles and bones that haven't moved for 5 years are really itchy. Since these people are not members of the Frisia Legion, he does not need to be concerned. Lord Pagan. The detector found someone approaching. When Lin Chen was still flying, the spaceship in the sky had already discovered his existence. Inside the spaceship, a spaceman shouted. On the command seat of the spaceship, there is a one-eyed giant, who is the commander of this unit, Pagan. He rested his head in one hand and said, Who? Is it a name Kian? Like a Saiyan. On the monitor of the spacecraft, the figure of the person who came was directly revealed. After seeing Lin Chen's hair and the tail on his back, those Cosmos people immediately determined his identity. Saiyan. Pagan was stunned for a moment, then burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect to see Saiyans on Namek. These damned Saiyans, I heard that they disappeared without a trace after they seriously injured Mr. Frisia 5 years ago. I didn't expect to meet one on Namek. Immediately dispatch the troops. Be sure to catch me live. Pagan stood up, his huge fists clenched tightly. The Kurdish king who has recently reappeared is recruiting experts to reorganize his Kurdish corps. He originally just wanted to inquire about the legendary Namek before going to the Kurdish king. It's a good thing as a gift to the Kurds first. I didn't expect to meet a Saiyan. It's just God helping me. Little ones. Listen to me. If you can catch this Saiyan and find out the whereabouts of other Saiyans from his mouth, then the king of Kurd will definitely reward me. Maybe he can even give me a legion. Long dang dang. So be sure to catch him for me. Yes. The roar sounded, and one after another silhouette flew out of the spaceship. Countless spacemen in battle suits scrambled to get out of the spaceship. They are all warriors under the great pirate Pagan, who have plundered hundreds of planets. Each and every one of them is a villain. A team of nearly 100 people formed a formation in front of the spacecraft, just waiting for Lin Chen to approach. After a while, Lin Chen flew in front of them and confronted them. Is this Saiyan really here? Ha ha ha, it is said that Saiyans are a fighting race like a mad dog. They bite when they see anyone. He doesn't want to challenge us, right? Amidst the laughter, a spaceman turned on the detector. Let me see his combat power. 15,000. 15,000? Ha 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 ha. When the other cosmic people heard it, they immediately burst into laughter. 15,000 combat power should be considered good among Saiyans, but in front of so many of them, it is still not enough. Don't waste time, catch him quickly, we have to find the Nameks. At this time, from the communicators of these cosmic people, the voice of their boss Pagan sounded. Immediately, an alien took the initiative to fly towards Lin Chen. Hey! The Saiyan on the opposite side, come with us honestly, we can spare you and suffer a little. Lin Chen looked at the combat power detectors on their faces and did not act rashly. Knowing the plot, he clearly remembers that this combat power detector is also a communicator, which can transmit everything that happens around it to the other side of the universe at any time. He is not afraid of these people, but he is afraid that after he has solved them, he will attract more enemies. Who are you? Are you from Frisia? Lin Chen asked. Hehe, are you deaf? Didn't you hear what we said just now? We are the pagan pirates. But in the near future, we will become the subordinates of the Kurdish king, said a spaceman. Kurdish king? Lin Chen remembered the name. The Kurdish king, Frisia's father, was famous in the universe for a long time before Frisia. But compared to this, what Lin Chen was more concerned about was that it turned out that these people in front of them were just stragglers and had nothing to do with Frisia or any other forces. This way, you don't have to worry about anything. If that's the case, then you all die here. A bright light flashed in Lin Chen's eyes, and a Qigong cannon pierced the sky, instantly evaporating a cosmic warrior. Killing one person, the energy of the Qigong cannon did not decrease, and another head slammed into the spaceship behind everyone, instantly making the spaceship start to crumble. Bastard! My spaceship! Pagan on the spaceship roared and flew out of the spaceship directly, shouting to the subordinates who were still sluggish, "What are you still doing? Catch him! Hateful!" The rest of the Cosmos warriors reacted and roared to attack Lin Chen. All kinds of Qigong cannons, energy cannons, and artillery fire from the spaceship shot at Lin Chen. In an instant, Lin Chen's position was swallowed up by the rushing energy, and the whole person disappeared in an instant. Brother Lynx! In the distance, Broly, who was sensing the situation of the battle, was in a hurry, his hair stood up slightly, and the breath on his body was constantly expanding. But a hand was placed on him at this moment. "Don't worry Broly, didn't you find it? There is no problem with Link's breath at all, he should be testing his own strength." "Really, really?" Broly heard the words, and the frantic aura on his body disappeared instantly. At that time, above the sky, after those cosmic attacks, they finally stopped. Looking at the pungent gunpowder in front of them, these Cosmos men had wicked smiles on their faces. "Oh, it seems like I moved too fast just now. Yeah, so the Saiyans should have been smashed to pieces, right? That idiot, who made him dare to provoke our pagan pirate group? Isn't it good to be a prisoner?" But at this moment, some cosmic people suddenly discovered that there seemed to be people in the smoke. What's going on? Is that Saiyan still alive? After the smoke dissipated, these people saw that Lin Chen, who they thought had been killed by them, actually floated in place intact. How is it possible? He has nothing at all. These cosmic people opened their eyes as if they had seen monsters. The attack just now, even if their boss Pagan suffered, will definitely not be nothing. But the Saiyan in front of him, let alone killed, didn't even see a single scar on his body. What's going on? Isn't his combat power only 15,000? Lin Chen looked at his body and clenched his fists with satisfaction. The body fused with the blood of the legendary Saiyan has indeed become indestructible. Are you finished? If you're finished, it's up to me. Lin Chen sneered and began to release his breath completely. In an instant, strong winds began to hang around, and waves of hundreds of feet were continuously generated, rolling towards the shore. At that time, the Namekians on the planet felt a huge breath. Neilu, who was not far from Lin Chen, also had cold sweat on his forehead. That lynx is indeed a monster. Sky! Drip drip! Bang bang bang! As Lin Chen's breath was fully released, the combat power detectors on the heads of the spacemen at the scene continued to explode. And these cosmic beings were also extremely terrified. Before the combat power detector exploded, many people had seen that Lin Chen's combat power had exceeded 25,000. And on the spacecraft behind them, through the combat power detector on the spacecraft, those Cosmos got a more accurate combat power data. 550,000. Lord Pagan. That guy's combat power is 550,000. What? Pagan opened his mouth wide and turned back and asked loudly, "You can't read it wrong, can you?" Impossible. Lord Pagan, the combat power detector on this spacecraft is the most accurate in the universe. Pagan also quickly realized that the detector on the ship could not be wrong, because this spaceship, but he bought it at a high price from the Frisia Legion, is the same model as Frisia's spaceship. However, just when they were extremely frightened, in the distance, Lin Chen's voice sounded again. Don't be in a hurry to be surprised. Next, is the real highlight. While laughing, Lin Chen slowly raised his combat power again. At the same time, the aura around him was slowly turning golden yellow. It was rare to have a target that came to the door, so Lin Chen naturally wanted to give it a try. How much ultimate power he could have? What? At this moment, even those cosmos men who can't perceive the breath, are aware of the dangerous smell in the air. Monster, monster! On Pagan's spaceship, the crew on board watched in horror as the readings of the spacecraft's upgoing combat power probe continued to soar. Unlike the portable combat effectiveness detectors carried by combatants, the combat power detector on the spacecraft is larger and heavier, but the upper limit of the detector is also higher, and the ultimate combat power can be accurate to 1.1 million. This is also the maximum combat power value that can be detected since the combat power detector was invented. Right now, along with the changes in Lin Chen's body, the combat power readings on the spacecraft are constantly soaring. 700,000, 800,000, 900,000, 100,000. Boom! On the spaceship, another big explosion suddenly occurred. One of the surviving crew members was dying and said with the OFFB ORD communicator on the ship, "Hey, Lord Pagan. The combat power of that guy has exceeded 1.1 million. 1.1 million. Hearing this sentence, not only Pagan, but all the cosmos people outside were stunned. 1.1 million? In this world, apart from the Frozen Demon clan, there are still people with such terrifying combat power? Drink? What? A roar caught the dull eyes of these people. At this moment, the aura around Lin Chen had completely turned golden yellow. Not only that, but his hair was standing upside down, and the original black hair had turned purple black. Call. Lin Chen let out a long breath. At this time, he already felt that he had reached his limit. Right now, although he has not yet become a Super Saiyan, he has entered the stage of mimicking a Super Saiyan. In this state, although it is not a real Super Saiyan, it also has the power of a Super Saiyan. System, what is my current combat power? Lin Chen asked in his heart. Host combat power, 3.9 million, the system replied. Okay? Lin Chen was stunned for a moment. He remembered that according to the original book, a Super Saiyan could increase the combat power by 50 times. Although he is only a mimic Super Saiyan now, it stands to reason that he should have at least 10 times the increase. Why is he not even 7 times now? System, did you make a mistake? The system's calculations are accurate. Never mind. Lin Chen suppressed his doubts for the time being. Now is not the time to find out why. Because just when he was wondering about his low combat effectiveness, in the distance, the group of cosmic pirates were already panicking and trying to escape. Too strong. Run. This guy can't be a Saiyan. He's a demon. A demon. I see, he must be the Saiyan. It must be the Saiyan who seriously injured King Frisia. We actually met him. At this time, in the sky where the cries were constantly being heard, a loud shout suddenly stopped everyone. A bunch of trash, shut up. The tall pagan flew out of the crowd, and he yelled at everyone with a look of anger. What's the point of panic? You don't even think about it. How can a Saiyan have 1 million combat power? It must be a malfunction of the detector, the mere Scion monkey. Pagan's words were just halfway through when his eyes widened suddenly. When he lowered his head, he saw a hand pierced out of his stomach. Lin Chen's voice sounded faintly in his ears. Whether the detector is malfunctioning, you can experience it yourself. Lin Chen's palm exploded with a flash of light, and Pagan, who was penetrated by his one hand, exploded into pieces in the flash. When the smoke cleared, Pagan had disappeared in front of everyone. A strong man with a combat power of 170,000, no matter where he was in the universe in the past, not to mention hegemony, at least he could come and go freely. But in front of Lin Chen, he didn't hold on to a single move. Escape! Escape! Lord Pagan is wrong, he really has a fighting power of 1 million. Super Saiyan, this Saiyan, must be the legendary Super Saiyan. In the sound of fear, no one had the courage to stay on the scene, and all the cosmic pirates fled to their ships. The still smoking spacecraft also began to turn its head and turn its direction to speed up to escape. Don't try to escape. Lin Chen condensed the energy of his whole body at one point at the same time, and the golden aura rose with the roar. Suddenly, a golden beam of energy blasted out from Lin Chen's aura. The golden beam is like a comet, piercing the sky and engulfing those cosmic pirates. Boom boom boom! The entire sky was plunged into a golden light, and the cosmic pirates were completely engulfed by the golden beam before they could even scream. Confirming that no one escaped, Lin Chen smiled, resumed the usual conversation, and used teleportation to return to Broly. Brother Lynx! Broly rushed to Lin Chen's side excitedly. Lin Chen touched his head with a smile, then looked at Neilu and said, "That time just now, it should be counted as fulfilling a promise, right? You will see the Great Elder later, remember to testify for me." Neilu nodded, but was secretly surprised. Back then, when Lin Chen met the Great Elder, at the cost of protecting the Namekians 3 times in the future, the Great Elder agreed to increase his potential and give him the opportunity to use the dragon 3 times. At that time, he also thought that this person was talking big. Even if he relied on the power of the Great Elder to improve his strength, with that little ability, he said he could protect the Namekians, wouldn't he think he was bragging? Unexpectedly, 5 years later, the strength of this Scion has increased to such a level. Among the cosmic pirates just now, there were several people whose strengths, Neilu could clearly feel that they far surpassed him. If it wasn't for Lin Chen's action, and relying only on the strength of the Namekians themselves, I'm afraid they would face a catastrophe. But the Scion in front of him easily solved the opponent and rescued Namek once. The Elder's original prediction was indeed correct. This Scion has really become the savior of the Namekians. With Lin Chen's teleportation, the 3 of them quickly came to the residence of the Great Elder. At this time, there are already several elders of Namek, who are asking the Elder for help for the broadcast of the space pirates that they heard before. The appearance of Lin Chen and the others made the voices of these elders stop. Okay. The danger has been lifted. At this time, the old-fashioned elder said, those space pirates have been solved by Scion Lynx. If you are all right, go back to your respective villages and let everyone feel at ease. The elders looked at the 3 Lynx who suddenly appeared, but were speechless. Finally, someone said, Lynx, you are awake. Back then, Lin Chen had been training on Namek for a whole year, and he had visited almost all the villages of Namek, so the elders were no strangers to him. That's right. The first elder was right. Those cosmic pirates have been dealt with by me. Elders, please go back in peace. Lynx said with a smile. Hearing this, these elders glanced at each other, and finally nodded and left the place, leaving everything to the most reliable elder.